We're going to keep delving into the anti-trans panic as a result of the shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. But one of the things that is front of mind for me, and there's a very good Vice News article about this, is that the trans identity of the Nashville, Tennessee shooter, despite the fact that, 3 or 4 out of the last 5,000 mass shooters have been not even necessarily trans, either non-binary or trans, like 4 out of 5,000, okay? Despite that, all of a sudden, the right-wingers are seeing the trans identity of the Nashville shooter as the opening to declare full-scale war against the trans community. I'm extraordinarily concerned about our trans friends and allies because I do believe that they are at serious risk. Like, it's not an exaggeration. I think that this is an overt threat. We are now seeing, for several years now, to be perfectly honest, I have pointed out to you that at events like CPAC and others, the biggest applause lines, even at Trump rallies, the biggest applause lines come during the anti-trans moments of speeches. When Ted Cruz says, "My pronouns are kiss my ass," and everybody stands and cheers. And Trump says, "We must not allow teachers to teach transgender without parental consent. And the crowd cheers and they go crazy. This has been building for a while, and it's now open season. Vice News writing, "The right is using the Nashville shooting to declare war on trans people. It has been an online barrage towards basically any visible trans person online." Tucker Carlson did a segment in which he claims that the trans community is actually targeting Christians. We're going to talk about that separately. I don't even want to delve into that now because it really deserves its own segment. But as the article says, as soon as details started to emerge about the shooter in Nashville, pundits and politicians on the right started exploiting the tragedy to spread anti-trans hate. You know, almost every mass shooter is a young white male. Not all of them, but most of them. You look at the last 5,000 mass shootings, like I said, it's overwhelmingly young white men. And so when that is the case, all of a sudden, many of these right-wing networks and people have nothing to say. They have nothing to say. Now, to a certain extent, Kyle Kulinski said this yesterday in a great video, which I'll talk about later, that he did about my controversy related to the shooting. He said, you know, these shootings are so common that, like, when 3 people are killed in a shooting, we all say, do we talk about, is this a story? Because there's like 3 of these a day in the United States. Is this a story? And for many of these right wingers, when it is what we call, imagine, we have like our traditional mass shooting in the US. Young white male gets an AR-15, maybe also a handgun, and goes crazy and starts shooting people, either because of, we've seen everything, disgruntled employment stuff, targeting a particular race. We've seen all of it. We've seen all of it. Is it even a story? And it isn't always a story. And a lot of the right wingers don't even comment. All of a sudden, the trans identity of this individual is exposed and reported on, and every right winger wants to talk about it. This is the important mass shooting to talk about. Never mind that there have been, if we want to be precise, what is the, let's see, how many mass shootings have there already been since this one? I don't have an updated list. Okay. Last 72 hours. So let's see. 1, 2. There's been a bunch of mass shootings since this one, but they want to talk about the one with the trans shooter. And the most important takeaways, of course, are that these are people who don't actually want to do anything about guns. Their priority, if they do talk about a shooting or if they don't talk about a shooting, it's to serve their primary purpose, which is don't deal with guns. Don't look at implementing any of the 10 ideas that I presented to you yesterday. One trans person versus how many non-trans mass shooters? So transgenderism must be the problem. Drag shows, which don't have anything to do with it, must be the problem. All of them have guns, but the guns aren't the problem. Oh, but mental illness is the problem. But we don't want to commit any money to treating mental illness. But now that the shooter is trans, then we must spread transphobia. We must spread anti-LGBT sentiment in general. And it's disturbing and it's depressing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, particularly disgusting. She is calling for trans vengeance. She has been suspended from Twitter And we will talk about that separately, again, because I believe it's its own form of evil, which we will discuss. And of course, then we always go back to when people like me say, hey, I've had a proposal with 10 different provisions to deal with some of the gun aspects of this. I've had the proposal for years. David, it's too soon to politicize the tragedy. We must not make it political. Really? When we actually want to look at solutions to the problem, it's too soon. But it is never too soon to spread hate and to say, well, drag time story hour is what caused this. What? And I don't even want to go into this yet because there's a lot of allegations flying around. But what really may be at issue here, is the treatment of the individual and who ultimately did this at that school. And we're still learning more about that. And hopefully at some point we will know the full story. But it is open season on the trans community. We all need to be extremely concerned about this. And we're going to continue talking about it more. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. So much coming up on the program today.